If YouTube playlists are not your thing, you can find this course and more at paul.unfgames.com. It's easier to follow along and know where you left off. Now, let's start the video. The next element is the toolbar. This one is the toolbar, and they house most of the important functions here in the blueprint. The first one is compile. Compiling means that Unreal will process all the logic that we have entered here, and if there is an error, it will jump to the error. We have options here like save on compile, to save on success only or on always. You can use them. I usually don't because I always save first and then compile in case Unreal crashes, and with Unreal 5 it's really, right now I'm using the early access, so it tends to crash a lot. So I usually just save, and this option is also here, file, save, or well, save all. But you can use it here also if you want to save every time you compile. This jump to error node is just a checkbox. So whenever an error node is detected, then we can find it easily. Great. Now we have the save, we have already used it. Browse is the same one as here in edit. Here in asset, finding content browser. If we click it, we will find it here in the content drawer. The next one is find. We already showcased that. It is the same button here, but it's easier just to click here. Hide related, let me activate all of these. Can I right click it and activate them? No. Okay, so hide and related, whenever we click on a node, we have these three nodes, it will make them will make the selection field, and the other one it will give them an opacity. Here, to create a node in the event graph, and I'm gonna jump a little bit to that, just right click inside the graph and you can choose any action to make. For example, actor, I don't know, get actor eyes viewpoint. Or right click, maybe I want to show some text in the screen, print string. And right now I'm using hide and related, so whenever I click a node, it will hide everything else. If I connect this execution pin, which is white, then now these nodes are not unrelated, so they stay colored. But if for some reason I connected this one, then now everything is linked. Well, if I click this one, it doesn't have anything to do with the execution, so it stays hidden. We can lock the node state, so we can click on anything else and the current state is maintained. So let's uncheck that. Now, the next one is class settings. Here we have all the settings this class have, and we can find the parent class. We can find it also here, but we can change the parent class here and reparent a blueprint. Also, it's a good place to place a blueprint description, display name if you want to change it for some reason, categories, and also add interfaces, which we will talk about later. The next one is the class defaults. And here we can edit the default values of this class. Let's remember that the parent class is an actor, and an actor has already properties that helps us drag and drop it to the map, add some replication, and more settings, so we can change them here. Whenever we add more variables to our blueprints, that we will also talk about later, we can change the default values here also. The next one is simulation, that I can click, and what will happen here is that the viewport will reflect all the code that maybe we added in the construction script and in the event script. If we make it so that in the construction script this generates some fences, or in the event graph it creates some asset, then the simulation will create them and show them here. So it's good for pre-visualization. And well, while you have this activated, you cannot change any value. So take that in consideration. That's deactivated. The next one is play. And we can press play. We won't see anything, but if we minimize this screen, then we can see this perspective. For the play, there are a lot of modes. I usually use this new editor window, so it pops up and you can see the value that I printed here. This value. I could delete this and just tell it hello, play, hello. Perfect. And if I wanted to see the execution of these nodes, I just have to select it from here. It could probably no debug object selected, but if we select our object, then we can press play, and you can see that the execution path is being highlighted. So that's pretty good. That's really useful. Now, before going to the next element, every time we change something in the blueprint, like we said at the start, we will need to tell the editor to process it. So we must click on compile. If you press play, it will compile for us. But just take in mind that this isn't saving my blueprint. So you could make it on success only and play, and it will save for me. Oh, it didn't, but maybe if I click compile here, now it saves. But as I said before, maybe you press play and something crashes, it will not save, so be sure to save and then compile and then press play. Perfect.